You know what's wonderful and scary about being 43 and having gone through a lot of life and being in a very introspective point because of, family and adulting and everything. Um, Having these constant little epiphanies and revelations and realizations about yourself and about where you are, where you've been, why you've been. And in the past few months, my hair is like in a net. But in the past few months, I've had weird little incidents or moments that made me realize I've had a bit of imposter syndrome going on, which is bad enough, but I've been trying to pose as people who also didn't exist. So let me take it back. Imposter syndrome is when you're trying to emulate someone else's life, when you're trying to have somebody else's career, have somebody else's, goals or whatever, when you're trying, when your life goals aren't actually yours, you're trying to be someone else, someone who you see, who you think is doing what you should be doing, like, so you become their imposter. You become an imposter of that person. So I'm realizing I've had that going on in various ways, and which is why I was always feeling not worthy and challenging myself. Like, why am I not where I should be? Because I'm looking at where somebody else is. And so I'm not actually saying, why am I not where I should be? I'm saying, why am I not where they are? But within that, a couple of the things that I didn't even realize that I was mentally trying to emulate and feeling less than because I was falling short, I'm learning that in those moments, the people that I'm emulating were also feeling as though they were falling short. So, for example, I was listening to Oprah's Super Soul Conversations, a podcast, and she was talking to India Irie. And India was talking about how when she did her first video, when she did the song video, and that video, that black women of my age, my generation, heard that, and us woke as fuck, natural hair, African garb, like us black women of a certain age took this song on as our soundtrack, our mantra. I am not the average girl from your videos. I'm not built like a supermodel, but I've learned to love myself unconditionally. We took that song, we took those lyrics to be what we wanted to be, to shape ourselves, to be our empowerment song. And I love that video and I love that song. And I'm realizing that since then, and even before then, and since then, I've tried to become the person that I envisioned in that actual song. The India Irie, the guitar carrying, long skirt, jeans. I loved the entire image. And if you don't know the video, go watch India Irie video and you will see. Some part of me has wanted to be powerful enough in who I was to sing that song and mean it, to embody that song in that video. And then in this interview, she says that that's exactly what she was trying to do. She was not already that person. She was trying to become that person. She created the person that she wanted to be. That was her goals as well. And put it out there as if that was her, because that's what you do. You present the biggest version of yourself to the world, And So in that moment when she was singing those songs, she wasn't nearly as confident and as fully empowered in herself and in her blackness and her femininity as the song said, but she wanted to be. So she was making an anthem for herself as well. So it was kind of a revelation to me. It was kind of like, wow, I'm trying to be someone who didn't even exist yet. At the time, who didn't even exist yet. She was exactly where I was. So I was emulating someone else's journey that they were still on. And it was a cool moment of realizing the illusions I need to let go, that for what I am right now, I can do my own version of fake it till I make it. Like, when I'm not really feeling my best, when I'm not on track, I know what track I should be on. So let me just see if I can fake that. And if you do it long enough, you get it right. I mean, it's a method, it's a process, and within that, the second lesson I've learned is that I don't have to teach from a place of being an expert. I can teach from a place of being a student. Most of the things that I am being asked for advice on, for help on, for teaching on, for my expertise on, I often don't offer because I'm not an expert at anything. Everything I learn in life, I learn as I go along. I am the epitome of self-directed education. It's one of the reasons why homeschooling comes kind of naturally to us. Like, I do better just learning on my own than I usually do in a classroom. So I'm not an expert at anything. I don't have degrees in things. I don't have certifications in things. So when people ask me for my help or for my advice or for my expertise, to me, I don't feel like I'm qualified. It's called expertise. I am not an expert. I'm doing yoga videos and sharing them online, and people are asking me if I could teach them yoga. No, I am not a certified yoga instructor. I am trying to get there. I am trying to actually get that little piece of paper, that certification, so that yes, I can, and I will feel confident knowing that I am not going to injure you at the very least, and I would know the best methods to heal and help you at most. But I'm not there yet. So it almost makes me shy away from even sharing the videos because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to tell them that I'm an expert and that if I give them advice on something and something goes wrong, that what am I gonna? I don't want the guilt. I don't want the guilt of it. Homeschooling, when it comes to writing, when it comes to so many things that people come to me and say, hey, I appreciate how well you do this. Can you help me with it? And I often don't because I feel that I don't have the expertise to offer, not being an expert. But I have to learn, and I am learning, and it's become a very strong lesson recently from another podcast that I was listening to, Rants and Randomness by Lovey Ajayi, which if you do not listen to, if you do not follow her blog and her website and her life and her fabulousness and her ratchetness, and oh, you must. Awesomely Lovey will give you all of your life. She's been giving me life for years. I've been following her. She is just fantastic and she does great things and she's just awesomeness and she's Nigerian and I love every bit of her, from head to her red pumps. I love it. So anyway, she was talking about, and actually several podcasts I've been listening to, but learning to accept that people are asking for what I have to offer right now, my voice as it is right now, in whatever way, shape, and form, in whatever way they're receiving it, they appreciate it and they're asking for more of it. And I have that to offer in whatever way, if it's through writing, if it's through homeschooling, if it's through health and nutrition, and even that, I have it to offer because I do feel that I'm a fairly healthy and health-aware person. So that awareness alone means I'm offering a perspective, I'm offering an opinion, and sometimes people just need an additional perspective from someone who seems to at least have an idea of what's right, wrong, where to find it, all that good stuff. So I'm learning that even as a student, I do have a place and I do have things to teach, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something that I have been certified in or licensed in or degreed in or any of that. If you feel that what I am offering is of value to you in your life and it helps, then that's all that matters. That's the important part. And that's what I want to do. From my blogging for the past 20 years and everything else, my main focus has been to offer something good to someone, to anyone, to the world, to a kid, to an adult, to a parent, to a father, to whoever. If anything I say gives something good, if anything I do, if any one of my rants about my insane children or husband or exercise or whatever, if you take something away from it that benefits you, then I'm doing good. Then I'm giving something. So I need to be more determined to offer when I'm asked, determined to offer what I feel I have to give. And especially since I'm pretty good at changing my mind when better information is offered. I don't tend to get caught up in a great deal of cognitive dissonance. I understand that part of being in the scientific world and in the real world means that sometimes new information is offered, information that wasn't presented before, information that wasn't available for whatever reason, for scientific advancements, for papers that were just found after hundreds of years, or whatever the case may be. Information is always being presented that needs to be integrated into the information that we have. And if you get locked in any kind of idea, anything about science, medicine, health, God, the stars, anything, if you get locked into any idea, you completely lose the opportunity to grow, to learn, to change, to become something new, to become something better. And I refuse to do that. So because of that, if I offer information and then someone comes to me and says, oh, that's actually wrong, you should do this, I have no problem saying, really, show me that information? Thank you, I did not know. Hey, this was wrong. So because I can do that and show that learning in life and growth and all of that, it's a process, and that we're all students. You should still learn always. I need to be more confident and comfortable in offering of myself and of my knowledge and being a teacher when someone is asking to be taught. Yeah, that's it. Those are the two adulting, putting on my grown panties realizations for the past couple of days. And in that whole realm of the second part of what I just said, sharing is caring. So, and I swear if I get a cough while we're stuck in biblical rains in the house, whoo. Oh, so I'm gonna go drink some tea now with lots of ginger and honey and make the raspy go away.
Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive is what I get. It's your primitive is what I get. If you got a big, let me search it to find out how hard I gotta work it. It's your primitive is what I get. It's your primitive is what I get. Boys, all type of boys.
Oh yes, ginger mint co-wash. And then, oh yeah, and honey conditioner. It's still wet. I'm just going to use the honey hemp as a leave-in. And then, do my double strands with some whipped cream.
That's watching people open toys.
You were watching people open toys on YouTube Kids?
On YouTube.
On YouTube, okay. You like to watch people open toys? Why?
Because whenever someone's watching something else that's for them, I try to ignore them by watching videos that make me say I want toys.
Whenever someone's watching something else, you want to watch videos that make you want toys? Oh, so when the kids are opening toys, it makes you want all those toys, huh? Okay.
But those songs I have, I never opened.
Oh.
I never opened Galvatronus.
You haven't opened Galvatronus?
No.
Well, no, not yet. Why not? Bring your sad face. Let me see. Why haven't you opened Galvatronus?
Because I did go to a party every time when I went to a party, but you always said I have to do it all day long, but I am doing it all day long.
So you said you didn't go to the potty. You tried to go to the potty. Use the potty every time you had to go, but I said you had to do it all day long, and you said you did do it all day long? Well, not all day. At least twice you missed going to the potty. You got wet in your pull-up, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you're doing very, very good.
That was done has a lot and full moon, one big and full moon.
Yes, and once you're going to the potty all day, then that will be your reward, is your new toy Galvatronus.
Yay!
Yay. There's the other one. Hi, other one. Hello, big boy. Oh! Oh,
Sorry.
that's okay. I'm
Used
used to getting beat up by my boys.
I don't know what that is.
Thank you. A pair of my shorts.
I wish I could reach it. Wow! Wow! You were missing me off the bed.
I don't know for you.
Whew.
My hands are non-particle free.
Mm-hmm.
Wee. Go.
I have a lot to say and nothing to say at the same time. I said I have a lot to say and nothing to say at the same time. That's how I feel when I get stressed out. When I get stressed out, I want to talk, and I want to talk and talk and talk, but at the same time, I don't like to stress other people out with my misery, so I end up not saying anything. So I always have a lot to say and nothing to say at all. Weird, right?
You're way too emotional.
I am. And you should know, considering you're my way too emotional child.
I have two
You're
swords.
way too emotional.
Do I need to remind you of earlier today?
No, you don't. Not on camera.
I have two swords.
So who's way too emotional?
Both of us.
I'm emotional for real reasons. I have family in the hospital and people I might be losing in the near future. That's real. That's solid and concrete and harsh. You were upset for an unreal reason because you have high anxiety, right? Yeah. So I am very emotional. I'm aware of that. Ask your father. He is too. He just likes to think he isn't. He likes to think he's a highly rational and devoid of emotion person who can devoid of emotion, read like a robot. He likes to think that he has all of his emotions, Bueller, completely under control. But he doesn't. And I know he doesn't. I've been staring him in the face. Whoa. For years.
What do you do?
He just came out of nowhere and surprised me. So yes, we're a very emotional family. We have Hulk over here who likes to smash and throws tantrums as soon as somebody says no. We have my drama queen son,
Drama king.
who's drama king, who is the highest source of anxiety known to man and flips out at the drop of a dime. We have,
Saying of a curse word.
or the saying of a curse word.
In earlier case.
Somebody had a tantrum because shit, booty, tit. What was it? Booty, tit. One of those that you flipped out for.
Because I didn't want to say curse words.
He didn't want to say curse words, so he had a tantrum because he didn't want to say curse words. I'm going to let that sit and marinate for a second. He didn't want to curse, so he had a tantrum.
That seems perfectly normal to me. What?
He didn't want to curse because his mother specifically told him to say a word, and thus he couldn't have gotten in trouble because it was from his mother. He wouldn't do it. And now I see. Really? Really? Oh! Freaking lunatic. Oh.
I have two swords.
You have two swords?
Mm-hmm.
You're probably the last person who needs weapons for no reason.
And then they turn into a metal sword.
And then they turn. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't need to. Yeah.
What
You see them
was
fighting
that?
for the camera? What was what?
That.
That hanging there?
Mm-hmm.
It's the pull chain on the ceiling fan. Turn around. Look up.
Wow!
Whoa.
I didn't see that.
Really?
Since I have 2 souls, will nobody.
I'm staring at you. That's all I'm doing.
I'm staring at you.
And now I'm staring at the child, totally blocking the
Right,
camera.
yeah. Ah,
See, this is what happens when you try and make a video with 2 hams. 2 hams. Ham sandwiches. Ham hocks.
I'm not a ham. I eat ham.
Hams.
What do you?
This needs to be about me. These
These
damn children are just cramping my style. They won't let me be great. Ah! I'm getting beat up. These niggas beat up.
Sharp.
I needed a chance to talk without my kids around. I've been talking to them all day. And I am stressed. I'm going through stuff. So my dad's in the hospital, and I'm not going to get all into that because that's his business, but it's my dad, and he's in the hospital. I have an aunt who's dying. I have a sister who's been in the hospital for a year. A solid year. I've lost aunts and uncles in the past year. We're going through so much emotional, physical, and financial stress with a move, an upcoming move into a house that needs to be fully renovated, that Mar is renovating almost entirely on his own at this point. While I'm supposed to be packing the house by myself on this end, while taking care of the kids and handling shit tons of paperwork that have to deal with this house that we're moving into, this home that we're getting, and my parents, and taxes and health insurance, and it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, that's adulting, that's the stuff you gotta go to, and it totally is adulting, it totally is the stuff you gotta go through, and I just happen to be getting bitch slapped by all of it right now. And I'm tired. And when I get tired, I sleepwalk. So I'm doing weird things in my sleep. It's a lot, and I'm usually home by myself with the kids, especially in the past 2 weeks. It's been raining almost every day. I don't have a car. I don't have a license right now, and we have no money. So me and the kids are stuck here driving each other that shit crazy. Like, that kind of crazy that makes me do this, go run from room to room and hide to have a moment to talk without them jumping on me and piling on me because they need to play. I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed. I know my depression. My depression rears its ugly head in different ways. This is all 100% hardcore stress and anxiety. And I have things that I was supposed to do that I had to put on hold, and it's so much. And I don't want to not talk about the hard, stressed, bullshit of being an adult, of being a stay-at-home mom, of being a homeschooling stay-at-home mom with 2 kids that are with me all the time, of being a wife. And that's not as much stress, aside from the fact that my husband and I rarely get to share a bed because he has to get up dumb early in the morning, and the toddler still sleeps with us, and he's not really good at letting people get sleep sometimes. So in order to let him get sleep so that he's not driving long distances on no sleep after having worked 12 hours and probably gotten off from work and gone over to the new house and done some renovations and stuff, he needs to sleep. And it's so much. So right now I am recording this video strictly because I feel that if I don't, I'm a fraud and I'm a liar, and I'm putting out that Facebook face, you know, that IG life that makes it seem like everything's beautiful, perfect, and everyone's happy when they're not. Right now, everybody's stressed the fuck out. We're not angry with each other, not mad with each other. We're luckily still in great spirits with each other for the most part. But this is some hard shit. And it's harder than what I'm saying because I can't give all the information because there are other people involved and I have to respect their privacy. Y'all know me, there's no shame in my game. I give out, if you've seen my Facebook, I'm the queen of TMI. But it's not just me. My kids are screaming at each other. I'm gonna see how long that lasts before they actually look for this face. But I will say, my lovely, soft, fluffy double strands look great. They feel great. So my hair is awesome. That's a great thing. It's my crown. It's my hair. Yeah. I don't even know how to wrap this one up other than to say I'm not in a terribly good place. I'm not in the worst place ever. But I'm not in a terribly good place, and now I hear screams of, ow, that hurts, from the big kid. The little one is the bully. So, tomorrow is another day. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Throw some platitudes at me. I'm sure one of them will stick.